the stream to make it easy. So yeah, let me just, all right, let me change the scene. Is that, oh, okay, yeah, we're getting there. 1 second, there we go. Okay, so if you checked my last YouTube video about the 5000 chat restriction and the broken Riot system, that was kind of my opinion, and combined with the talking about the tickets that I wrote to Riot and what they sent me, etc. You know, taking my opinion from that, what Riot was saying. And I know a lot of people wouldn't believe me and think I was making this stuff up, like what Riot wrote in their ticket when I sent them, you know, what they answered to me. People would say that wouldn't be true, etc. A lot of stuff. And instead of, you know, answering them in the comments, I will just do another follow-up video. And the reason why I actually posted that video and do this right here is, you know, in my gameplays, etc. on my stream, a lot of people are new to the stream. They, you know, they get the first impression of me, and then they see this number of chat restrictions every game, after every game, and they think I'm super toxic, because who else is gonna get 3k, 3000, or even I started with 5000 chat restriction. It's right now 3700, something like that. But people see that and think stuff up, you know, imagine I would be super toxic and be super bad player, etc. So that is the first impression that they get from me, and that is super upsetting. I mean, that's so sad, you know. People get the first impression and they instantly think that I'm flaming, etc. all games, every games, whatever, which isn't true, you know. And that makes me kind of sad, and that might make people even, you know, leave the stream and not maybe watch any other videos, because they think, oh no, I don't deserve it because I'm so toxic, which is all not even true. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you how this all started, and, you know, show the tickets that I wrote to Riot. So it started, let's say 9 months, created 9 months ago, around that. So that is around like in season 4. Okay, I think this chat restriction stuff came in season 4. So this is when all of it started, and I started getting a few for actually leaving my games. I'm just gonna go ahead and click the first ticket. You see, I wrote this. I wrote the first ticket about this chat restriction problem when I had 700. As I said, I started with a few. You see this, and then I'm writing here, but then I kept getting more every time I finished the ones before, and then at third or fourth time. So the third or fourth time I got this chat restriction, it was 700. So before that I would get 20, I finished that, I get 100, I finished that, get, I don't know, 200, and then suddenly 700. And that was the point when I was actually questioning this and started to, you know, write a ticket to Riot about this problem. And I already knew the Riot support is not gonna do much, but I mean, what am I supposed to do with this? I think this is totally unfair. Something gotta be broken on that system, and this can't be true, you know. So I wrote a ticket to Riot, you know, explaining why do I get that. I firstly got my chat restrictions for leaving games, for being AFK. And I got an email for that, for this account that got so many chat restrictions, and it said you have left, you know, the lever buster generic email saying, yeah, I have left games. So I got 1 or 2 day bans, right? I got a 1 or 2 day bans for leaving game, which is fair. But the problem is, on top of that, I got this chat restriction first of all, 20 or something at first, and this is how it all started. So I got kind of punished for my bad actions twice. I got punished twice, day bans and this chat restriction, which doesn't make sense. Why would you give somebody that leaves or goes AFK in game a chat restriction? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so I tried to talk to Tyre. What do they say? What? Okay, we're gonna check every single answer of Riot. Okay, what do they say? There has been a high volume of post-game reports against you relative to the number of the games you've played. Yeah, what they basically say, basically dude, I can't even talk when I focus too much. They basically say you've got a shit ton of reports, okay? And we have investigated your account and found higher than average levels of toxicity as a result of your actions in the matches you play. Remember that line, remember this, okay? Remember this line. You're gonna be reading and hearing this line very often in the coming time now. Remember this line. And as a result, we have decided to place a series of chat restrictions on your account to help you adjust your behavior in game. Alright, the terminal is currently down, all the same stuff. I don't even need to repeat it. That's it. And I'm like, nah, not gonna deal with this. Okay. The answer came pretty quick, I gotta say. On the same day when I wrote this, I got the answer. That's pretty nice. But it's just a generic, and I didn't even bother about this. And they just suddenly put the status of the ticket solved. The ticket is solved. They just give it generic answer. I didn't probably even read what I was saying. And then 2 months later, I write another one. I think it's still the same chat restrictions. And then, you know, I had 600 after that. I played a few hundred, and then I had 600. What do I write? And now this time I tried to do different. I tried to, you know, wait, is it actually working? Can you hear me, clones? Okay, I forgot to check. Okay, let's keep going. So this time I tried to, how do I say it? Introduce myself a bit, you know, tell a bit more about me, who I am, what I do, and what my problem is. My problem is I got a quite high amount of chat restrictions on my account. I can understand the first 20 to 50 chat restrictions that I got, because I used to be a little toxic. I used to be toxic. I'm still a bit toxic, but in my very past I had a really bad behavior, and you know, I've recognized it, I've acknowledged it, admitted it, and I worked on it. I improved, I definitely did, but let's keep going. But after I completed those, I kept getting more and more. You know, after the few ones when I was leaving the game or being a bit toxic in game, after the few chat restrictions, I understood this is wrong what I'm doing. I was thinking more about my attitude, more about the game, anything, you know. So I tried to improve after the first chat restrictions, which I did. But the problem was, as I said, the chat restrictions kept on going. It kept on snowballing. It kept on getting more every time you finish them, which is just... It blows my mind how Riot could put such a stupid system. And I would really watch out for myself not to flame. I mean, I've thought about flaming and why I think flaming is stupid anyway. I would rather use the time to write, you know, type shit in the chat that might get me banned. I would rather use that time to win the game, you know, focus on the game and win it. Why would I waste my time? That's why I deleted the chat. I don't have chat since, let's say, since season 5. I don't have the chat. Okay, and this is posted on the end of September 2014, so still in season 4. And yeah, I'm trying to explain everything, trying to give more information about my problem. And yeah, the ironic thing is, or I don't know, is that ironical? I've also written, especially on my Smurf account. The Smurf account used to be called Shaclone. I don't know why that name, but that used to be the name of my first Smurf account, which I really never flamed. This started with a few chat restrictions too, and even after not playing for 2 weeks on it, I got 100 chat restrictions. Okay, I didn't even play on my Smurf. I barely play on my Smurf, and even if I play on my Smurf, I don't really flame on my Smurf because the games are pretty easy for me. So there's no reason for me to tilt or be frustrated with the game or anything. I just win the games by my own most of the time, because the Smurf used to be a bit lower elo at that time, so it was pretty easy games for me. So there was no reason for me to flame on my Smurf at all. Okay, and yeah, also I didn't play on the Smurf for 2 weeks and then suddenly it got 100 chat restricted. That is so stupid. You don't even get to your account, yet you get punished. For what? Could that, you know, could that be any right? At least if that is any deserved, can I at least know for what? For what do I get that? So I can work on it. Tell me what I did wrong so that I can work on it, okay? Because I don't think this is right, etc. What do they answer? Did you remember the line from the last time, from the last ticket? There has been a high volume of post-game reports against your relative to the number. This is the same answer. It's all the fucking, it's the same shit. And you know, a different guy, but it's the same. And I say, please don't choke me off with a standard copy-paste answer. It's the same like the last ticket. And you know, I said I am barely toxic in game, etc. And so if you checked my games after so many reports, can you please tell me what kind of actions it were that might get me so many chat restrictions? They say over here something about actions, something about highly toxic behavior. So I'm like, what kind of highly toxic behavior is this? Tell me so I can work on it. And then somebody else gets to the ticket saying, we have a player behavior blah blah dedicated to your problem. Apparently they have that kind of thing. Apparently they have an extra team for checking player behaviors. That's what they say. I don't believe that, but that's what they say. So yeah, after the ticket 24, when do they answer it? 4 days later. That's so quick, pretty nice. In that time I tried to, you know, that would be really nice so I can fix my problem, etc. I still haven't received any message. I was kind of being, you know, pushing over there. And then somebody answers from the player behavior advocate something. Alright, what does he say? Thanks for reaching us. My intent is to offer you some visibility on your case by shedding light on chat restrictions fighting your areas of negativity. So he's trying to teach me the system. What does he say? I gotta check if the stream is going, etc. Alright, it's everything fine, I guess. What does he say? Your overall trend has created a negative experience which has resulted in chat restrictions. So you gotta remember, this time is when I used to do blue Shan very often. Like in the season 4, I firstly started doing this blue Shan stuff, and I would actually get to my games. These times when I pick blue Shan, somebody surely dodges. If they didn't dodge, I would dodge. And you know, before I get further into this ticket, the blue Shan thing is basically when my teammates ban Shaco because of me, I know the game is gonna be a disaster. This guy is, even if I picked some other champion that I'm good at, and even if I did really nice, and the rest of my team as well, this guy who banned Shaco because of me apparently doesn't like me. So he's not gonna be playing properly the game. It's gonna be super unnatural game. And even then, even if we somehow try to win it, he's gonna be making sure to lose that game because he doesn't like me. He's gonna ban my main. Of course, he's gonna try to make me lose. That's obvious, right? That's totally obvious. So of course, I'm gonna try everything to not get this game started. And if that is also concluding somebody or including somebody to dodge, you know, if they didn't dodge, I would dodge. But when I pick blue Shan nowadays and tell them, you know, maybe it's what I say after I pick blue Shan, they always dodge, okay? Always at the very last second. But in season 4 this was new and the people wouldn't dodge it. So I would get to play blue Shan very often and have like, let's say 30-40 games loss, 0 wins, of course. So that's bad. Yeah, that's wrong. I get it, that's wrong. But nowadays I don't do it to actually ruin the games. I do it to make the guy who do shit dodge the champ selection, okay? And if they dodge, I would. If they didn't dodge, I would dodge it. But if the enemy banned Shaco, that's something different. The enemy banned Shaco, alright. Either I'm gonna dodge it without wasting much time, or I will try to play some other champion if I feel like it. Most of the time I don't want to, so I would dodge it. You know. No big deal, in my opinion, at that point. But yeah, let's keep going. What are the overall trend that has created negative experience in my games? Difficulty cooperating with the team and work towards common goals. Now, if you watched my, you know, a bit later commentaries, I would always say teamwork is very important in this game. This game is a team game, of course. A healthy communication is important, but you can't have a healthy communication if you have only 3 messages left to talk to your team. That's not gonna work. So it's kind of paradoxical. It's, you know, they say I don't cooperate with my team, I don't work with my team. At the same time, they gave me this chat restriction since, I don't know, since the middle of season 4 or something. How am I even supposed to talk to my team like that? Some players are concerned you might be feeding. This is also a thing. I don't know why, but in season 4 especially, a bit not nowadays, but a bit later, people would always say, yeah, I would be feeding, I would be trolling. I don't know where they get that from, but yeah, that's what they report me for. He's just mentioning the cases that people reported me for feeding, right? For feeding. Why would I feed my games? I'm trying to get rank 1. What is the point? Why would I waste my own time? But this may be a result of not communicating accordingly with your team. Same thing as the first point. If it's true, so be aware that we are now auditing players for it. What is this? Let me check the link. Detecting and banning extreme intentional feeders. Extreme intentional feeders. That's definitely not me, so I don't know why he's even giving me this link. Extreme intentional feeders. Nice one. Oh man. Let's keep going. This is gonna be a long video. If I post this on YouTube, this is gonna be super long because we got so many tickets. 3 more tickets or something. And then third point. Scolding. What is scolding? I don't know what scolding means. Bad England. Scolding. Oh, insulting. Is that insulting? Yeah, I guess. And degradation of another player. Degradation, I guess it's kind of, you know, putting them down or something. Of another player for playing poorly. Yeah, I do that. That's true. Or I used to do it more often. When somebody was playing really bad. But I actually think this might work for some people when you have, you know, when you play a game and you have a nice game, but let's say top lane is just feeding super badly and you talk about that problem. You say, dude, stop feeding. That's still fine, right? But I like to taunt that guy a bit. I like to say, man, you gotta be really bad, you're feeding so bad. I think that might work as a motivation to the guy. It depends on the person, to be honest, but I think even on this elo, because on this elo people think they're good, they're convinced by themselves. So when they play bad and somebody tells them, dude, you are bad, that would be me. If somebody tells me I'm bad, I would try to do everything to prove this guy that I'm not bad. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of psychological. How do you say it? Reversed psychology, something like reversed motivation, somehow, something like that. I can't. Bad England, man. I can't explain everything properly. Fourth point. But yeah, I used to do that. I understand that. Simply giving up before the match is over. Yeah, that's also the thing. I used to. I mean, nowadays I never really do anything like this, to be honest. But anyway, I used to leave games very often, go AFK and get caught by the lever buster, which I said already. I got banned for that, for being AFK or leaving games, which is fair, but I got the second punishment with chat restriction, which kept snowballing. So he's right now, what he's talking about is about the punishment that I had with 20-50 chat restrictions or the bans that I got from the lever buster. This is all fair, this is all about that, but this right here doesn't say anything about the 600 or 700 chat restrictions. Okay, I've already had my punishment for doing these mistakes, and I got the problem, I understood the problem, and I fixed it. But you know, they keep repeating the same things. Have you considered using team builder? What the fuck, I play ranked too. Do you have team builder on ranked? Are you serial, man? If you continue to play more positively, then you offer a better impact to players around you. Alright, basic stuff. Oh, be positive, don't be negative, and you're gonna have better games. I get it. I've got that since season 5, dude. So it's really getting annoying to me. Okay, I got the stuff since season 5 and I improved on that. But yeah, this is still from season 4. So let's keep going. And then I write really a lot. I write shit tons of texts, man. I don't know. I can't keep myself short. But yeah, I write a lot. Damn. But yeah, see, I wrote so much, you know. I tried to discuss about this stuff, trying to, you know, explain my problem, because he's apparently not really focusing on my problem. What I'm saying, yo, I got the 700 chat restrictions now. Even so, I improved already. I know I had some mistakes before, but now I kept getting reported for stupid stuff which isn't true, etc. And I keep getting more. This system, you gotta stop that system. They're like, nah, you're being toxic, you're doing this wrong and that wrong, so please stop doing it. That's what they say, and I tried to find access to him, you know. So write shit tons of texts, but they don't answer it anymore. And they put, you know, I'm still writing to them, you see this, and I put the ticket solved. Ticket is closed. If I want to talk to them, I gotta have to make a new ticket. What is the point? What is the point? Okay, we are having a discussion over here and they tell me to make a new ticket. Please, please, let's keep going for the third ticket. And now I didn't write about that stuff for 2 months, and this is the next ticket about chat restriction stuff, and this is when I got the 5,000. This is when I got the 5,000. Okay, so this is December 2014, still season 4, and the title is 5,000 games additional chat restrictions after finishing the 700 ones. And I introduce myself again, you know, try to explain every ticket. I would try to put more information on it, causing to have a longer text, you know, and try to explain them everything, showing them that this system is actually broken. And I'm sure they know that. They know the system is a mess, but they don't wanna admit it, or they just don't care. I don't know. I don't know what is wrong with that. Well, what am I writing? Let's see. I want to try to talk about this if I can get rid of the chat restrictions. The answer was no, so I accepted it. At this point I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go with this, with the 5,000. I just, in this ticket I'm saying, yeah, okay, you don't have to remove it, but at least please stop giving me more after the 5,000, which is ridiculous. I'm not gonna be finishing these 5,000 games in 3 seasons. I mean, please, what is that? But yeah, in this ticket I was saying you don't need to even remove it, but at least acknowledge the people that actually get reformed and improve their behavior. At least acknowledge that, you know. Stop being so ignorant. At least tell the people who make improvement, tell them that they're on the right way. This is not gonna say that. This is gonna say, yo, it doesn't even matter what the fuck you do, you fucked up. You fucked up for your fucking whole, I don't know, you fucked up. It doesn't matter if you turn into an angel or whatever, or if you never ever flame in any of your games. You fucked up. You gotta deal with the 5,000. Is that gonna help people improve? What is the mindset that Riot is having right now? What is the mindset? Who's gonna reform when they get this ridiculous number? And I'm not the only one, you know. A lot of people got that problem. A lot of people are stuck in this shit and they keep getting more and more, even so they do nothing wrong. So they start questioning themselves. At some point they're gonna question Riot, of course, because they're not gonna see any mistake on their own. Like, I can't see any on my own right now. I don't see any mistake that I'm doing, so why the fuck do I still have to deal with this? Okay, this is stupid. But let's keep reading. Now I wonder how I get 5,000 chat restrictions for false reports. That's what I'm saying, false reports. I get reported basically after every game, etc. for, you know, whatever reasons. I just can't accept this, blah blah blah. Why do I get this huge amount? Yeah, it's, I don't know. I keep saying the, you know, asking the same question. I never get the answer though. What do they say? While the tribunal insists, we are unable to provide specific chat logs. Yeah, I was asking for chat logs. Can you give me some proof? Can you give me some proof that I was flaming in my games? Give me something that proves that, you know, that proves that I deserve this. Tell me. There is nothing. Okay, what do they say? I'd be happy to clarify what's going on, but it's important to note ahead of time we will not be removing or reducing the number of chat restrictions. So they're gonna try to teach me once again the system. And yeah, what do they put in? We've investigated your account and found higher than average levels of toxicity Is that familiar to you? Is that line familiar to you? Is that familiar to you? Is it? Every single ticket, every single answer contains this bullshit right here. This is totally taunting, okay? This is such a troll. This is such rickroll stuff. You know, you're like, what? I don't even know what to say about that, dude. They keep putting the same stupid thing in. I don't know. I don't know. It's like you do one mistake in your life, and then somebody takes that mistake for the rest of your life and smash it on your face every day, every morning you wake up. The whole day he's gonna be, look at this shit, that's what you did, deal with it, every fucking day. Dude, how are you supposed to even deal with that? Our chat restriction system is in place while the terminal is currently in extended maintenance, while the development team works on improved features and enhancement, blah blah blah. Our development team, our player behavior specialist team, yeah, sure, you got that stuff. I'm sure it's not like you got one stupid bot that do all these stupid decisions because you are too lazy to do anything about it. Dude, it's, I mean, the lever buster showed it, that the bots can't do this work. Bots can't do that. Bots are gonna make mistakes because they can't, it's not working, okay? This chat restriction thing is the same stuff, and I'm sure the lever buster bot is almost the same as this chat restriction system. It's all automated, it's a bot, and it's the bot somehow, I don't know who the fuck programmed this bot, okay? I don't know who the fuck programmed this system, but this is so stupid. Like, what did they type in? Oh yeah, if a player gets one chat restriction, give him 1000 more after he finished it. Does he finish that? Give him, I don't know, 1 million more. Like, how do you program that shit? I don't get it. From 700 to 5000 just because so many fake reports, please. But there's gonna be one important answer from Riot, which I'm gonna show you later. Let's keep going. The chat restriction system works by analyzing recently played games on your account. He's gonna explain me the system now. The chat restriction system works by analyzing recently played games on your account. This doesn't take into account the amount of time that passes between games, which prevents players from simply waiting out punishments. Additional chat restrictions may be placed after your first round is complete if there is no visible improvement in behavior. What exactly are they saying with this? If there is no visible improvement in behavior, how do they know that there is no improvement in behavior? Do they just check the mass of reports that somebody gets, and if he keeps getting reported so often, he's just gonna get more chat restrictions? That's the system. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna check this guy's games and see how he deals, because they don't have chat logs. They don't deal with that. They let the bot do it, and the bot is fucking stupid, okay? It's possible to receive punishments harsher than chat restrictions should be toxic behavior persists, including temporary, permanent, and permanent suspensions. It's important to remember that there's no excuse for being rude to others. They're gonna repeat the same. Please don't be rude to anybody. Always be positive, okay? And everything is gonna be okay. But I'm like, dude, I am positive. I am not rude to anybody. I used to do that shit in the very past, but I'm done with that. I don't do that anymore. So can you please get to my fucking problem and help me out with this 5000 chat restrictions, because this is stupid. And they're like, stop being negative, please. I don't know what to say about this dude. If you think other players are intentionally trolling, then be sure to report them. Fuck you. You know, I don't know what Riot did wrong with that, but every time I report somebody, I get him instantly in my next game, in my team. Every time I report somebody, oh, this guy was feeding, this guy was intentionally throwing, I'm gonna report that negative attitude. If I report somebody and look for another game, I will get that guy 80% of the time. That's such a, I don't know why Maybe that's a fucking stupid experiment of Riot, you know, thinking, oh look, this guy reported him, let's put him again in his team. If he gets reported again, we can be sure that this guy is actually toxic. Maybe that's why they do this. But dude, I don't want that guy in my team because he was doing shit the last game. I don't want to have the same shitty game. So why would you give me this guy again? Because I report him. I think I do something right if I report somebody reportable. So why do you punish me with putting this stupid guy back to my team for my next game? Why do you do that? It's 80% of the time that happens. So I stop reporting anybody. You know, I lost hope in all that system, dude. I don't know. I've checked that and that's how it is. If I report that guy 80% of the time, I'm gonna get him in the next game in my team. Fuck that. I don't want that. If you're having a bad game, insulting your teammates doesn't help them improve. Oh yeah, please don't flame, don't be toxic, blah blah blah. And it won't help you win the match, alright? Sure. If you're not... Dude, I don't even have a chat. How am I even supposed to insult anybody? I can react to what they say if they insult me. I don't see it. I don't deal with that. That's cool. Okay. But yeah, keep repeating the same shit. If you're not going to say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Basic stuff. If an argument is getting heated, what argument, dude? I don't have a chat. Just use the all chat mute, hide all chat, mute individual players, or move the chat box away. Nah, dude, I'm one step ahead of you guys. I fucking deleted the chat completely. I don't even need to deal with that. Every game the game starts, I don't have a chat. That's how I deal with this now. But later to that. Yeah, he's just doing simple stuff. Yeah, I can see you didn't even read my messages. Look at this. I put so much fucking time and effort and describing my problem over here. He's just giving some random answer. And I say, yeah, you didn't check my message and just copy paste some standard reply. And I make a TLDR for him saying, I wanna see chat logs of my games that prove that I was or am toxic in my games, because I claim that I am not toxic since I don't use the chat so much or at all. So please show me some proof. That's what I want, dude. That's what I want. When somebody gets punished, he has the right to know what he did wrong, right? So why don't you fucking show me anything and stop giving this stupid standard generic message with some stupid links? What am I supposed to even do with these links? Behavior worth of a champion. What are you gonna try to reform me? Is that how you reform somebody that is having a problem in this game? Is that how you do it? Restricted chat mode. Yeah, teach me more about that shit. Definitely gonna read it. Oh look, yeah, this. Can you see it? Yeah, you can. Let me get deeper into this issue with the chat restriction. It's not even that, oh no, I can't talk to my team. Also, I say healthy communication is important, and I would love to have no chat restrictions in game to be able to properly talk to my team. I would really love that. I would definitely have a good impact to the game, but since Riot won't take out the chat restrictions, and every time, you know, in game, I see this freaking orange writing this message saying, oh, you have 3 messages left, and you're like super focusing with your team to the game. You try to talk to them. You need more than 3 messages if you're communicating properly to your team. Definitely you need more than 3, but after 3 this stupid orange message gets grayed out and then says 0 messages left, so now you have to shut the fuck up. And if you try, oh, you have to wait 10 minutes till you have 1 more message, so just shut the fuck up. You know, I hate that shit. That makes me super mad. That makes me super salty when I see that in game, and that is mainly the reason why I deleted the chat completely. The second reason is because every game people are toxic anyway. I'm sure half of the people have chat restrictions, but everybody lost hope in that shit, so they used the 3 messages to actually flame and be super toxic in game. Like some people would be sarcastic or ironic and be like, oh guys, I'm chat restricted, so I have only 2 more messages left. And what does he use that for? To insult people, to write some random shit, caps lock bullshit, and then he's out. That's what they do with it. Who's gonna even accept that bullshit, dude? Who? Tell me. But yeah, first of all, the messages in game that you have constantly under your chat, and then tells you, yo, you gotta shut up now, you have talked too much. That makes me mad. the second thing that makes me mad is when I log in into the client, I get this over here, this message which grays out my client. It's like, yo, you have to accept it, you have to read it. Every single game, every single login, I have to read this shit. Look at this, look what you did wrong, look, this is what you did wrong, and now you have to deal with this. And imagine the 5 with 3 zeros additional to that. Look, this is what you did. You have to click OK before you can keep going. And dude, that is like as fucking somebody, okay? That is okay, that's too salty now, but oh my god, dude, stop being so fucking stupid. Why do you have to keep showing me this message? I got it, I got thousands of chat restrictions. Why do you have to show me this? This makes me mad. This makes me the most mad in this game. And then after every single game, you get this message telling you, oh yeah, you have so many more left, keep going, you can make it. What does this even say to me? This is just a Riot saying fuck you. This is Riot right here saying fuck you. You know, that's Riot, dude. That's Riot for you. Okay? Holy shit, dude. But yeah, let's keep going. So I want proof, and here saying, I understand your frustration, or you do? Okay, but this action was taken against your account because it showed higher than average levels of toxicity in your games. We investigated and determined that your account was in clear violation of the summoner's code. Whoa! Then fucking tell me what it is! Stop saying that I'm toxic, stop saying that I'm violating the summoner's code. Tell me what the fuck it is. You don't even know. If you fucking checked my game, then show me. Just show me if you checked it. If you have, oh yeah, we have decided that you're toxic and, you know, determined and whatever blah blah blah, then fucking show it to me. Okay? You have no proof, so stop making stuff up. Okay? Stop fucking making this stuff up. We determined that your consistent behavior warrants this punishment and will not be removing or adjusting it. Alright, let's keep going. Please let me know in which way I did violate the summoner's code. And don't tell me because I wouldn't communicate with my team. Like you said, last time I wrote the ticket, that's just purely paradoxical. It is. Giving me chat restrictions and telling me I don't talk to my team? What? Mind blown, dude. My fucking mind is just blowing in pieces. Show me chat logs that I show I was being toxic in my games, because I can't agree with this. And before people say, nah, you flame, and they might have some games where I might insulted one guy or have been toxic. Happens, dude. Everybody can tilt, everybody tilts. You have a salty game, you have a salty day, you might, you know, sometimes you're just done with your patience and you're gonna be getting salty in chat as well. Happens to the best, okay? I'm not saying I'm perfect, definitely not, but I'm way far away from deserving this punishment over here. Alright? That's too much. Nobody deserves that, to be honest. Nobody. So yeah, I'm just still asking for chat logs, and what do they say? The same stuff. We have a player behavior team in place dedicated to working with these requests. So I need to transfer your ticket. A player behavior specialist will be contacting you as soon as they can. And I don't know why I wrote this shit ton of text. Let's see what I wrote. I still didn't get any answer. Oh, 3 days later. You know, this conversation was going in a few days. So 3 days later I didn't get answer, and I tell them, you know, before they close my ticket suddenly and say this is solved and move on. You know, I have to keep the ticket alive, so I wrote it. I can understand that an investigation like this can take a while, but I expect that if I get restricted for such a huge amount of games, that the investigation was done long time ago, right? If they're gonna be like, he's saying we have a player behavior team in place, and I already have 5,000 chat restrictions, and they say we have investigated your game, so they already have or should have the informations about my games, right? They should already have the informations ready. So why do they still need so long to find an answer, to get an answer to me? So just logical thinking over here. Then if I get restricted for such huge amount of games that the investigation was done long time ago, and hence an answer shouldn't take too long for that, right? But apparently they don't do shit, so now they start maybe checking some of my games, if at all. I don't believe that either, but like there should be some saved information about me if I get such a ridiculous amount of chat restrictions. They don't have that. It's a fucking bot, right? That's my opinion about it, that's my assumption, but let's keep going. I finally want an answer for my problem because it is just unacceptable for me, ununderstandable for me. Yeah, it's unacceptable and ununderstandable. How the fuck am I supposed to deal with this? How am I supposed to change anything when there's nothing to change? The only thing that got to change over here is this ridiculous system and Riot's mind, Riot's way to deal with these problems. That's the only thing that has to change, you know. Most of the players, that's the truth, man. I know some people maybe deserve it and might say, nah, I don't deserve that punishment. I don't know, but I definitely don't deserve this ridiculous amount. I might have deserved the first 100 chat restrictions and the first bans that I had, but not this shit, dude. Not after I improved and changed my attitude. This is just stupid, okay? But let's keep going. I really try my best to avoid those punishments. Yeah, I even try to avoid to get reported. I somehow try to avoid that if possible. But the problem is at my elo, dude. I'm at rank what rank am I? Rank 375 in the US, top 375. With the challengers, I'm the rank 375. So I get to play maybe, if at all, with 1000 different people, if at all. Most of the time, if I play more games in a day, you know, suddenly look for another game after the previous game, I'm gonna get the same people in my games. And if it's the same people that don't like me or simply hate me, they're gonna report me after every game. They're gonna be able to report me more often in a day, which is stupid. So you can't say, like, I don't know, half of the reports that I get may be the same people that report twice or even more often, which is, dude, that's just bullshit, okay? That's just fucking bullshit. I mean, also for the fact that I'm playing maybe with 1000 different people, Riot shouldn't have such a big problem to deal with this kind of stuff, because there aren't many different people that I play with at such a high elo, you know. So it should be, stuff should be way faster. I mean, in lower elos, millions of people play over there, so I know it might be very messy and chaotic over there to find a solution for these problems, but this right here shouldn't be it shouldn't be a big deal, basically. But they make it such a big deal, dude. It's the many games people would tell to report me because I play AP Shaco. I do play AP Shaco, I very successfully, very seriously, and I do win my lanes most of the time. I actually win the games, even so. Okay, I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but yeah, I do play AP Shaco. People would report for that, or just for playing Shaco, people would report that. Now, this isn't breaking the summoner's code in any way. See, that's the thing. I can't play AP Shaco. I can't play Shaco on its own as a champion. I mean, communicating to your team, you know, that's also the thing people say. See, I like double jungle. I prefer double jungle more than one jungler. I think double jungle is even better, because if you think about it, in my opinion, it's pretty strong. Now, at least since the time now, when I get to the champ selection, I call jungle or mid, and I also play double jungle. That's what I say, to keep confusions away from my, you know, to keep that confusion out of the team. But the thing is about the communication with your team and listening to your team. When somebody says, no, I don't want to play double jungle, am I not allowed to play double jungle? When I say, yo, we can play double jungle, I'm gonna lock in jungle when you lock in jungle, let's go, it's easy. And then I try to communicate to my team and say, hey, look, we just, you know, I start at my buff, you start at your buff, you go to the enemy jungle, I go to the other side, and then we do early dragon and maybe gank together or roam or something, you know. I try to make plans, tactics with my team. But what does the guy say that picked the second jungle, or, you know, the first jungle at the first time? He's just crying, insulting, saying, oh yeah, you're so cancer, why would you do that, double jungle, you're stupid. That's not in the meta, nobody plays that. So I'm not allowed to play that because he doesn't like double jungle or doesn't use his brain to maybe a bit, you know, think a bit about it and say, yeah, this might work. Like totally say, no way, this can never work. That's how they deal with it. So I'm not allowed to play it anytime because my teammates don't want it. Okay, what about champion picks? If somebody is Teemo main and plays Teemo AD carry and he plays it good, but the people don't play it good, the other people, the rest of the people don't play it good, his team doesn't know how to play with it, his team doesn't know how it could work, even so this guy makes it work, Teemo AD carry, okay? And his team says, dude, don't pick Teemo AD carry, that doesn't work, I don't want that. Is he not allowed to play Teemo AD carry? Do you understand that? Is he now not allowed to play that? And if he gets reported for playing Teemo AD carry, even so he played good and carried the game, he still gets reported and gets punished for what? For what? Okay, you see where this is going? This is stupid. But I also get called toxic suddenly. Yeah, dude, I don't even know. Maybe it's because of my older commentaries that I used to insult way too much in my older commentaries when I started to do commentaries. I used to be like really stupid back then. I admit that. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I used to be really bad, but I improved so much from that. So, but for some reason people would call me toxic back then. They don't do it anymore. But back then, every time, oh, you're so toxic, please report to Shaco, whatever stuff like that. And I would get reports for that, which is a bullshit. Without me having said anything bad all game or anything at all. I didn't flame for a long period of time. As I said, I don't waste my time on flaming. Maybe sometimes when I'm done with my patience, you know, when we should be doing Dragon, maybe I would caps lock in and say, team, wake the fuck up, go to Baron and do this in caps lock when I'm done with my patience. That happens. And sometimes I do ping spams nowadays, which I think is fine. You know, in my opinion, ping spams sometimes wakens up the teammates because sometimes you really feel the teammates kind of sleep. So I don't think that's much of a deal anyway. Yeah, I'm just saying about the fake report stuff, blah blah blah. And now this answer, is it this? I think it's this answer. Or somebody, Dragon667, thanks for the sub, man. I'm really focused on explaining everything. Sorry for not showing your the sub alert. I didn't have the sub alert on the scene. So let's keep going. This answer is maybe the best answer, yet it's not helping, and it's still very flawful. It's still very, you know, a lot of mistakes in it, a lot of stuff that you don't understand, and very paradoxical. But this guy actually tried to talk to me, and this is not just the generic standard answer. He put time in that. I can tell, but it's still the same thing, paradox stuff. So he's saying, yo, Shaclone, thank you for contacting us about your consent, and I do apologize. So he gave the answer after 8 days. I do apologize that it has taken this long to get a response. Personally, I looked into your account extensively. I've spent the time watching your stream all in order to get, and this is December, this is 2014, and I gotta be honest, in that time I was still a bit toxic, you know, doing the blue shen stuff. That was still the time when I did this, and I would be still a bit toxic. Nowadays, as I say, nowadays there's nothing, barely, you know, maybe 1% of my games, maybe 1% of my actions would be oh man, my throat. But yeah, maybe 1% of my actions would be called toxic, or you know, there's barely anything toxic about me right now at this point. I've spent the time watching your stream all in order to get a better idea to what is going on with your account and the chat restrictions. Since your initial chat restriction in May, your behavior has improved. Since the initial chat restrictions in May, that's 2014 May, that's when it all started, in May. You see how long this is going. This is 1 year. This is 1 fucking year lasting like this with chat restrictions. And this is May, and I talked to them, I started talking to them from September. So how many months is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 months. So you see, I was getting the chat restrictions in May, and I understood my problem. I started working and improving on my behavior at that time, and you know, I was getting better on it. So from May to September, but even so I was improving, I kept getting more chat restrictions, and on top of that it was kept getting more and more ridiculously higher, which doesn't make sense. It's counterproductive, dude. You want somebody to improve and you keep getting him more chat restrictions. What is the point? What is the point of that? Oh look, this guy has improved. Let's give him 5,000. I don't get it. If your behavior was particularly bad, you have sort of adapt. Now he's really explaining the system to me. Adapt. That's what they call it. This 5,000 chat restrictions, that's adapt. That's a debt from me to Riot that I have to work off or work off. Yeah, to work off before your account is in a good standings. Now here's the stuff about this stupid system. What I particularly mean by this is that when an account gets a chat restriction, it goes into a reform period, where if the account gets a certain amount of reports in that period, it fails the reform period. That's the system. So to speak, additional chat restrictions are placed on the account. That's all about the system. Now you can start to figure this out. What can I even say to this? So when I get chat restrictions, right now my account is in a reform period. It's in a reform period, okay? And first of all, I have to play the 5,000 games out. I have to work that debt off, and then the bot that is, you know, managing this is gonna watch out if I still get more reports. If I get a certain amount of reports, let's say 5,000 games. If I get 100 games reported after the 5,000 games, I'm gonna get maybe 10,000. I don't know how much I'm gonna get after this one, because I got 5,000 after 700. So how much am I gonna get if I finish this anytime? Maybe after a few seasons. If I finish this, how many can I still get? This is, oh my god, dude. So yeah, I don't know this certain amount. I don't know how many that is. Is that percentile? Is that, how is that calculated? I don't know. But you see this? You see this? It's not about how toxic somebody is, it's just how many reports you get. And everybody knows that people get reported so often for no reason, especially at the Zelo, dude. As I said, I play against 1,000 different people, and the people at the Zelo, they hate each other, they don't like each other, they trash talk each other, they you know, break their own games, throw their own games, you know, troll their own games because they don't like the guy and his team and whatever. So they keep reporting each other after every game. Sometimes they deserve, most of the time fake report. But this doesn't matter if it's a fake report or not, because this bot is gonna take all the reports, and once the certain amount of reports is reached, after you finish that chat restriction number, you're gonna get more. Alright? It's not about, oh, what did you say? Did you insult somebody with bad stuff like cancer and AIDS? Did you kill his family? What did you do? Why do you get so many chat restrictions? That's nothing about that. It's not about how bad of a player or person you are. You just get that shit if you get reported. Dude, I don't even know. And if I play AP Shaco, if I play double jungle, and if people can't even use their brain and think, like, could that work, and just say no, this doesn't work, and report me for that, how am I even supposed to deal with this? And on top of that, I don't even have as I said, I removed the chat, so I might be not answering to my team. Dude, they could even report me for unskilled player, and this might count. They could report me for anything. They don't need to put any comment on it. They don't need to be right. All they have to do is push that button and report for any case. Unskilled player, let's go with that. Intentionally feeding. Oh look, the Shaco's 12-0 KDA stats. Let's report him for intentionally feeding. All these reports are gonna be counted and saved up till I reach a certain amount of reports, and I'm gonna get punished for that. And that's how you get to 5,000 chat restrictions and be brand marked in this community from Riot, by Riot. This is a brand marking, okay? This is a fucking brand marking when somebody gives you this high amount of ridiculous chat restriction that you can never ever work off in your fucking life, and then you see this message when you log in. You see this message after every game. You see this message entirely and constantly in game if you have chat. I don't have it. But what I'm saying, no matter where the fuck you go, you're gonna see this message. And it wouldn't be much of a deal for me, since, you know, I would, as I said, I would rather communicate to my team. But if Riot doesn't want me to communicate to my team, I'm not gonna do it. Even so, I might get more reports for that, for refusing communication, and even get more higher amount of chat restrictions. That is so paradoxical. But even so, I don't care about that anymore. I've closed up with this. You will see after my last ticket, after this one, you will see I'm done with that. I'm done with Riot. I'm done with this shit. But the problem is, what I just want from you guys when you watch my stream or my game, when you see this message, please stop making stuff up. Please don't say, oh, you have 5,000 chat restrictions. You gotta be really toxic guy. You gotta be really toxic player. And then don't go to other people and say, oh my god, yeah, the Shaclone is so toxic because he has 5,000 chat restrictions. Is that your argument, saying that I'm toxic? Is that over here what you call toxic? Right? I mean, I don't need to say more about this. So yeah, my answer to this, did I read it all? Wait, I didn't read it. I didn't read everything, right? Oh yeah, it keeps going. It keeps here. Keep reading. If after those first waves of chat restrictions, your behavior was still negative or questionable, the debt just got higher and in turn increased the amount of chat restrictions. Now that is bullshit. He just said it on his own, that it depends on the certain amount of the report that I get, and then the bot automatically puts another higher punishment, higher amount of chat restrictions. That's how the system is. That's how he said it. He doesn't need to go deeper into that. They don't have chat logs. They don't check the game on their own. They just let the fucking broken bot do this work. The debt, yeah, the 4,000 chat restrictions are from the accumulated debt that your account needs to work off before the account is in a good standing. Dude, this is never gonna work, man. This is how do you say it? It's like a swamp. This is a swamp. This is not even snowballing system. This is swamp. Is that the word, swamp? It sounds weird. Yeah, this is a swamp, basically. You get in with your finger, you're gonna be soaked. Is that soaked? Dude, my English sucks. Soaked is, no, that's wrong. You're gonna be pulled in vague. Oh my god, dude, why is English so confusing? You're gonna be fucking you know, pushed in that shit. You're gonna get fucking, you get the point. Swamp, you know what a swamp is. You get in with your feet, your whole body is gonna be get into that shit, because what the fuck? And if you try to move, that's the thing about swamp. That's definitely a system of swamp. If you try to fucking move, if you try to move out of that shit, you're gonna get fucking pulled in deeper in that shit. That's totally a system of swamp, dude. You try to work that shit off, you get more. The best way to not get any more of this chat restriction is just fucking throw this account away and never ever touch the account again, because that's the best way to not get reported. Because if you carry too hard your games, you're gonna get reported. If you're too nice, you're gonna be reported. If the guy just doesn't like you, you're gonna be reported because you played a champion, because he doesn't like your champion, because he doesn't like your name, because he doesn't like you as a person, whatever. It doesn't matter what he reports you for, this system is gonna punish you. That's a fucking swamp. It doesn't matter what the fuck you do. Once you get into there, you're gonna be fucking pulled your whole body in that shit. This is so stupid, dude. But let's keep reading that. Let's keep, you know, I'm thankful that he at least tried to explain this system and actually didn't do a fucking generic answer to me. That is the one good answer that I got. Even so, it doesn't say much to me because it told me how the system works, and now I totally understand the problem. From this message, you know, after this message, I understood it's not my fault. It's the fucking system that is broken. I can't do anything about that. But I just hope the people wouldn't mention that stupid stuff. Just forget about that message when you see it. Just fucking ignore it as I ignore it, because it doesn't say shit. It doesn't say shit. And Riot just got too big of an ego to actually admit their mistakes, to admit that their bot is broken as fuck. The bot is fucking a pure failure, okay? But look what he's saying. This is a very basic explanation of how this chat restriction system works. While we're looking through your games, and watching your stream, the behavior and that you portray now is fine. Okay, my behavior is fine. I don't want you to believe that just because you enjoy playing one champion in every role, that this is wrong or worthy of this many chat restrictions. When I watched your stream, you worked with your teammates, both in champ select and throughout the game. That's what I tried to do. But most of the time when I try to fucking talk to my team at champ selection, what I get is getting insulted, called cancer shake or whatever. So I don't even fucking bother communicating to my team in champ selection at all anymore. At nothing. It just doesn't work out most of the time, at least. Like you mentioned before, you did do things previously, both before and after your chat restrictions. Sure, I did stuff that wasn't right and I acknowledged it way before the 5000 chat restrictions, but let's keep going. Which caused you to have a large amount to work off. Larger amount to work off. This is not gonna be done in 5 seasons, man. Come on. The good news is that you have improved your behavior and moved in a more positive direction. The hard part is because of your previous choice, now you're faced with a very long chat restriction to work off. I hope I have helped clear up some of the confusion that you have had over the past couple of months up until now, until this point. If there's anything more I can do for you, or any other questions or concerns you do have, please let me know and I'll do what I can. Alright, so you tell me I did improve, you tell me this system is super broken, and you tell me that you're not gonna be changing anything about it, yet you tell me to keep going the positive way that I'm doing, keep improving. But I should be aware that the broken system is the way it is. It's gonna keep giving me more and more chat restrictions. Also, I'm obviously improving. That's what you're saying. I know that's kind of nice because, you know, enlightened, because finally they kind of reacted to my issue over here, but yet they don't react to their own problems with this broken bot. You know, they're not gonna change anything about it. So what do I even say about this? Because I get it, you told me this, okay, I see it, I improved, Riot confirms it, but the fucking people that have the first impression of me in my games, in my streams after every game, they will see the messages I do. Also, I can ignore it because I know the background history of this. But these people that get the first impression of me don't know anything about that, so they're gonna immediately think that I'm toxic. So instead of giving this private message to me, they should be fucking telling this to everyone that has to deal with this system, to end everyone, dude. But they don't do it because they have too big of an ego to, you know, acknowledge their problem, their broken system. They're not gonna do it, but at least they let me know it, and I'm gonna let you clones know it. So here you go, this broken system, here you go, what the fuck is going on? Now you got it, I hope you got it. And now I keep doing texts. I try to convince them from, you know, removing this freaking chat restriction. It's nice that you're acknowledging my improvements in attitude and behavior, and I want to keep improving. I want to go for the positive direction. Everybody wants to, but don't make it too hard for them. It's true that I used to do stupid stuff, but I dropped that since Yeah, we're talking about that and this. I still can't accept this high amount. I can't. Nobody can accept that. After 5, no wait. Yeah, after 5 days, same guy gives a answer. I don't want you to believe that the reporting system is not effective in catching other bad players, along with also the reason for the large amount of chat restrictions on your account. While we even saw players can report you if they see fit. Keep in mind that we only audit legitimate reports, which is bullshit. That's not true. He's just trying to, you know, convince me that they do and that their system is working, but he already said it was his first post that the system is broken. Audit your accounts. Is the music too loud? That is one of the factors that we take into account. So reporting is still vitally important, and your reports do mean something. If a player is ruining your game, yeah, report this and that. Fuck it, I don't report anybody. As I said, if I report somebody, 80% of the time I'm gonna get that guy that I reported recently or previously, I'm gonna get it into my team the next game if I start another game. That's what happens. That's what I'm convinced from, and that's why I don't use the report system anymore. I don't do that. I don't want to risk the guy to, you know, to get that guy that I would actually report, to get him back into my team, because Riot is apparently making this experiment out of that. I don't want to do that shit, dude. Now, you mentioned that you stopped the behavior 2 weeks ago, roughly said like that. That still means that all the behavior that you portrayed before you officially stopped is reflected in these chat restrictions. The continued behavior caused it to accumulate, and now the depth is much higher. What depth, dude? Please. It would have been if the effort to improve the behavior would have started on the first or second set of. I'm getting tired of this, man. You see this? I can't even read properly anymore. I'm getting so tired of this topic. I just want to get this off, and then I'm done. And I hope people will stop, you know, saying that somebody is toxic just because they have a ridiculous high amount of chat restrictions, because that doesn't say anything. You can be. I don't even use the chat yet. You know, the system is broken, man. What else can I say? So actually keep writing to them. Thanks for the reply. It's nice to hear that you actually checked the reports. Now, if it feels like, you know, this guy is doing something, it still has a function. I will be reporting reportable cases again. I wanted to do that. That's when the time when I, you know, he gave me some hope on that reporting system, so I would start to report people, reportable people. But then in that time, when I was, as I said, when I was reporting in that time, I realized if I really do report somebody, I'm gonna get him into my team. So I stopped doing that. What bothers me so is that as I said, I don't have the chat because I completely removed it for two reasons. Seeing how many messages I have puts a pressure on me, and I hate it to have 0 when I'm actually chatting. Only to communicate with my team. As I said, if you communicate to your team properly, 3 messages aren't enough, and not at all. That's never ever gonna be enough. So not seeing the limit thing keeps me calm. The second, seeing flaming teammates, I get, dude, sometimes I would try to put chat in. The first game I would regret it, because I see the people writing so much shit and so much trash talk that I don't want to deal with that. So I just remove the chat after first try once, you know, and now I'm just never gonna bring the chat probably ever back again. Maybe I would bring back the chat if I didn't have the chat restriction, because that is the main reason why I removed the chat. You know, if I didn't have the chat restriction, I may have a nice positive cause impact to my team, which would prevent them from flaming. I don't know. Maybe I could do that because I want to have a healthy communication to my team. But if that's gonna be in the conditions that I have to do it, fuck it. Then I'm gonna remove the chat completely. In my opinion, it doesn't bring anything, so I just prefer to see the chat. However, I still communicate to my team. I can still write to them, but I just don't see what they write anymore. And I don't know if they get my messages, because I don't know how much I sent them. I don't send that much, maybe 1 or 2 chats, you know, one or two enter one or two sentences in a game, something like that. Also, people will report me for intentionally feeding when I just have bad stats. Happens, bad games, and you know, getting reported for that is also pretty stupid. But you know, every report counts on this, because every fucking report, doesn't matter how wrong or false it is, the bot is gonna save that up, and he's gonna count all the reports. So it's really stupid. Am I really gonna be punished for those ridiculous cases? So I wrote this 17 December. He answers it 6 March 2015. That's almost, I think, 3 months. Let's see. 1, 3, 4. 4 months. After 4 months he gives the answer. I apologize for my delayed response. I wish there was a way to optimize out of seeing the message that pops up after every game. That's stupid. That's fucking stupid. Now what I'm saying over here, do I say it over here? That's pretty weird. But somewhere I was saying that why the hell do I have to keep getting this constant message that I'm chat restricted? I mean, I got it. Why do I have to get it when I log in? When... 1 second. Alright, I'm back. My niece came to the room, so I had to mute the microphone for a second. So I wrote something about why do I have to get this constant message that I'm chat restricted after every login, after every game, and in game if I had the chat. Why do they have to do that? And what does it say? I wish there was a way to opt out of seeing the message that pops up after every game, informing you on how many chat restricted games remain, since you have such a large number. I know seeing this message so often can be daunting. For right now, however, there is not a way to not see the message pop up after every game. That is so bullshit, dude. You wanna tell me, and your fucking technologies, you're not able to fucking not show this constant message? Please, just fucking tell me. You guys are being fucking assholes and just showing the fucking middle finger to your pupil and saying fuck you with this message, with this constant message. 1 second, clones. Fuck, I'm fucking back. Oh my god. Sorry for the fucking delays. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying, man. Yeah, as I said, this is a fucking Riot saying, fuck you guys, we don't give a shit. You wanna tell me you don't know how to remove that constant messaging about the chat restriction number left every fucking game, every login? Please, please. That's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. And then I just stopped answering. I mean, he's answering after 4 months. Why do I even have to deal with this? You know, at least I acknowledge that I improved, and I'm able to show you clones this, or was it this? You know, I'm able to show you clones this, and he also explained the chat restriction system, showing me that this system is a mess, totally broken, and I can also show you this as well. So I hope you get this now. But there's one last ticket left, and then after this I'm done. And I might also show you actually how to remove the chat, as I did. I will do that for you if you want, so let me know in the comments, etc. But let's keep going. This is gonna be such a long video, man. But this is the last ticket now. Okay, the title says everything. Proud of Riot Games, but also disappointed. I mean, that was also the constant performance of Riot. They do things that you're really proud of, but then there are also these things where you're just, what the fuck? You lose all the hope about Riot Games. I'm like both sides. I'm both sides. I don't know. You know, that was also the time with the stupid patches and whatnot. Like a lot of things that Riot was doing wrong, and with this keep on going chat restriction stuff that they have still, you know, implemented in that. I don't know, man. It's so much wrong. But now I try to do, you know, introduce a bit again. And this was the time when I wrote this. I saw a post of Riot Light, Jeffrey Light, he's called Jeffrey Light, and he was making a video, a presentation about his work. It was called, you can check that, Jeffrey Light, Lin, on shaping behavior on online games. That's the title of that video that I watched. And he was talking about how he tries to deal with this toxic stuff, and he was always saying, yeah, we tried our best to, you know, reform people. We wanna, you know, fight this toxic stuff, and I don't want toxic in my games too. I'm not toxic. I don't want to be toxic, and I don't want toxic people in my game too. So I thought, dude, we have the same interests. I mean, I don't want that, they don't want it. Why the fuck can't we have a proper solution together? Why do I have to deal with this 5,000 chat restrictions? Even so, I think the same like Riot Games does. Why doesn't that work? So I did a last try to Riot, you know, telling about this stuff. I repeat the whole story since it's a new ticket. I repeat everything, you know, started with 10, got to 50, got to 200, got to 700, and then 5,000, which is ridiculous, etc. The community is a mess anyway sometimes, you know. What do you even say? And then there's also this, you know, as I said, I got this is from Riot, you see. So I got, as I said, also a few chat restrictions on my Smurf. Even so, I never played on that, which is stupid. I never played on that Smurf, and I got chat restricted on that. I don't even know. But the difference is on that, on the punishment on the Smurf, that I got an email, warning email, telling me, yo, you have chat restricted games on your account now, on this account, on the Smurf. That's what I got. But the thing is, for my main account, I didn't get anything about that. You see, you can read over here the description: repeatedly leaving games or idling during gameplay. Repeatedly leaving games or idling during gameplay. Of abandoned games. It's all the same, right? This is the messages that I got from my main account. That's all the warning messages that I got from my main account. It was only leaving games or being AFK. And games which were a loss, but my team didn't want to surrender. So I didn't want to deal with that because I felt like a waste of time. So I would either go AFK or you know, leave the game, and I didn't even care about the leave of us. And we all know People can refuse to play and still don't get caught by lever buster simply by moving around, doing stupid stuff, wasting ultimatum base and whatnot. Just keep moving. That's how you prevent from getting caught by lever buster. But I didn't even care about that, so I just, you know, just went AFK, let the lever buster catch me, let me ban me for 1 or 2 days because I was just done with that game in that time as well. So I got punished for that. I got the warning emails. That's all I got for that account. There's no proof. Nothing, no email, no warning, nothing that says, yo, warning about you being toxic in your games. There's nothing about that. Even so, I got 5,000 chat restrictions on that. I never ever got an email about that, about me being toxic. It was all AFK or leaving game. There was nothing about being toxic at all in that time as well. Even so, I admit I used to be toxic back then, but even then, there's nothing. You see, this is all the email that I got. That's what I put, you know, give them as proof, telling them, please give me some proof. I just want some proof. Tell me, you know, I want to see me writing shit. I want to see that to understand my point over here, to understand my problem. And then, you know, that was also the time when I was getting really frustrated by the people saying that I would be toxic because I have such a ridiculous amount of chat restrictions. I would tell them, yo, this what you're doing is a brand marking. You give people such a ridiculous amount of chat restrictions that they can never ever work off, and you show that message constantly the whole time on client and in game, and let everybody know, look, this guy is toxic, nobody touched this guy and stuff. That is such a brand marking, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm complaining, what I'm complaining about here. And this was late, this was pretty late when I wrote this. You see this 5:58, you know, I should be sleeping at the time. That was really bad. So I would, you know, write a lot shit, stuff like that. And what do I get? While the terminal is in recess, we're unable to provide specific chat logs or reform cards for chat restrictions. I'd be happy to clarify what's going on, blah blah blah. We've investigated your account and found higher than average levels of toxicity. Same line. They keep putting this though. Oh my god, dude. This line is making me so mad. All the time. That's so troll, man. He's just giving a random generic answer with the same links, everything same. You know, I don't even know what I'm doing over here. Just being desperate, trying to find access to Riot, you know, because that was always when I saw Riot Light's work. See, I did a quote of Riot Light on Reddit. I'm gonna show you this as well. So this is Riot Light saying, you know, that was this thing about XJ9. So he typed something in, and I took an important quote out of that. We're always willing to work with players who make a genuine effort to reform their behavior. Am I not genuine enough? Is that what you're saying, right? I'm not genuine enough to be reformed? Or am I not genuine enough that you don't want to work with me? What is the point? Why? And how do you want to work with that? If you say, no, we're not gonna remove your punishment, even so we know you don't deserve it, even so we know our system is broken, even so we know, you know, I don't know, or we won't be changing anything, but we are ready to work with you if you're genuine enough. How is that gonna work? If you're not ready to change anything or admit anything or acknowledge anything, you're ready to work with genuine people to reform them. That is, oh my god, Riot is being so paradox. It hurts. It fucking hurts. That is pure paradoxical shit, dude. I don't even fucking know. Why isn't the things that Riot says seen on here? Why do the fucking supports keep being so ignorant like shit? Even so, Riot Light says stuffs like that on Reddit, and everybody is like, oh yeah, let's give this guy 1k5 upvotes because he's so good. Look, he's saying he's doing work. He's saying Riot is good, and they help people, and you know, the people that don't get it, they don't deserve it because that's how it is. Yeah, you see the fucking proof over here. Riot doesn't give a shit. The Riot support doesn't give a shit, dude. It's so paradoxical, man. It's so shady in my opinion. And then same stuff. I understand your frustration, but this action was taken against your account because it showed higher than average, and that's the time when I say it. Fuck you, Riot, I'm done. I'm gonna go and talk to a wall, talk about my problems to a wall. Maybe the wall is more helpful than this shit, or maybe a stone, I don't know, but this is a waste of time. If you're gonna keep choking me off with this standard generic answer, fuck you, I'm done. Lost the hope in Riot, everything, just fuck it. You know, and I still actually wrote to them, but then, you know, they just closed the ticket and say this is solved, let's move on, this is solved. And this is all Riot games for you. This is Riot. This is what they fucking do, shady shit. I don't even fucking care. If they're gonna give me 10,000 after I finish these 5,000, I don't give a shit. I don't use the chat anymore if they don't want me. They don't want me to use the chat, if that's what they say. I ignore that shit. I'm gonna keep getting that message every time I log in after every game. I don't fucking care. But please, people, please stop saying that, you know, people would be toxic because they have a such high amount of chat restriction, because that doesn't say anything about the player. It doesn't say anything about how toxic he is or not. It doesn't say shit, okay? I hope you get that point, and I hope I won't be seeing these stupid comments anymore, you know, assuming that I would be saying really bad stuff in my game, so I deserve the 5,000 stuff, and you know, everybody saying, oh yeah, so toxic Shaco player, stuff like that. I hope I don't get that anymore, and I hope you got the point. I'm sure this video was super long for you if I posted on YouTube, but I'm done with this now. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video on how to remove the chat completely, like I did for every game that you joined. You have no chat. Tell me if you want that. I'm gonna tell you how to do it then, if I get enough, you know, enough people that want that. So yeah, that's it for this topic, and I'm fucking done with this. I don't want to deal with this anymore, and I just want to get back to making videos, edit videos, making fun videos, make people entertain and laugh. That's what I fucking want, and get that rank 1 in solo queue as well. That's what I'm aiming for, and I'm done with this topic. I'm done trying to talk to Riot at all. Fuck that shit. I don't need that bullshit, okay? Fuck it. Done with this. Yeah, that's it, clones. That's fucking it.